reunion of the 2013 championship team. This is awesome to see you guys. I mean, this is like I'm a kid in a candy store here. Look at this. Luke Glendenning, Jeff Hogan, Tristan Grant, Chad Billings, Brennan Evans, Louis Mark Aubrey, Nathan Page, Brian Lashoff. More to join. I think I got everybody in there, right? More to join us as we go here, guys.
Giving me a shout out, Kaiser.
Yeah. Andre Nestrashil, who along with, let's start.
I only played one game in the playoffs, but
I should have gone around clockwise so I wouldn't have lost track of anybody. Nestor, I think it's a great way to start with you and Luke Glendenning. Peter Mrazek could be the other one. You talk about that 2013 season. The three of you guys spent some time in Toledo to start the year. Not that that's a bad thing, but Luke 500 National Hockey League games later scores a goal in his first shift with the Griffins, his first game with the Griffins. Andre Nestrashil goes on and plays with the Carolina Hurricanes. Pretty amazing. You guys made that jump pretty quick. Of course, first and foremost, though, helping Grand Rapids win a magical Calder Cup in 2013.
Well, I think it's even funnier because when we got to Toledo, you can only play 10 forwards, and Luke was the 10th forward. So he was the odd man out, and then a year later, he was playing NHL. So that was pretty cool.
Luke, was that a difficult demotion for you at the time? I mean, I don't think it was, because I know you had worked so hard just to get to the professional hockey ranks, and I think at that time probably just thrilled to be playing anywhere pro hockey, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was just excited for the opportunity. Obviously, I got to live with Nesty in Toledo, so we had some great times in the old Garden Ridge Manor there. I think it was a great learning experience for me, you never take anything for granted, that's for sure.
Well, it turned out awfully magical. You look at the beginning of that year, Jeff Hogan. You got a new coach in Jeff Lashley. You got a brand new captain in Jeff Hogan, who had to walk on in a tryout scenario in order not only to make the team, which obviously not only making the team but earning the C. And then Brennan Evans, a new assistant, Tristan Grant, a new assistant captain. So really, it was a fresh start for a team that hadn't made the playoffs, the Griffins, in the previous 3 years, and things got off to a little bit of a sluggish start too. It wasn't exactly jumping out of the gates with a bunch of wins right away.
Yeah, to point out, when Glendenning got sent down, I remember I requested a number change to number 10, and I think Dog was like, "Well, we're saving that." I was like, "Well, for who? For Luke?" I was like, "Well, right on." So I think from the get-go there was a plan in place, and for when I came in, it was, you start to realize how old you are. For one, coming back from Germany at God, was I 32, 33, and the team, you weren't sure you were going to be there or not. You just kind of came in. I had another year of my contract in Germany, and then the team started to take shape. And I remember Mrazek got sent down right away, and he was crying, and I'm like, man, these kids are young. I mean, the game, you get sent down and you deal with adversity, but and then to get appointed to captaincy and not knowing anybody, everybody's kind of building those relationships with the summer camp and the organization. Evie comes in, Bubba, you got Pacher, and you got some older guys, but when he anointed the captaincy, I was like, what? This isn't good. You're kind of like, nobody knows me. You don't want any favors. And, so it was, that first meeting, I remember I kind of got a little, I get passionate, but I was like, hey boys, I got your back. I might not be able to hang out with you and, at the bars and, do all that fun stuff. But, who knew it was going to end the way it did or start the way it did and take shape the way it did. But, it was pretty awesome. And I remember Sheehan saying, Hogs, when you got the captaincy, we all met and later at the bar and we're like, who the hell is this guy? So, for getting, to play that long with these group of guys. And, it's pretty awesome to get together today. So.
Well, speaking of, Pacher, puts the A on the jersey, and how many years later winds up with a couple of Calder Cup championships here, Nate?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I was same as Hoagie. I was in Germany with him the year before and came back and really had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. I remember coming, we had a kind of a skate before, and I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Evie or Bob, because I'd known them. We could be in tough this year. I'm not really sure what we're getting ourselves into. And we started that season, I think it was 1-5 or whatever. And Peter came up, and then things just kind of took off from there once, you know, he kind of had the season he had and everything kind of gelled. And then you look at our playoff run, nothing was ever easy. I mean, we played almost every game that was possible to play during those playoffs, but there's something special with that group. And we love each other together. It's just everything kind of gelled, and everybody wanted to. It was a blast. That was my first ever championship, so it's something special for my whole life.
I think we might have lost you there, Patriot, but you know, you talk about, you know, Brian Lashleff had already been a Griffin for, I think, 7 years going into the 2012-13 season, the human fossil. 500. Speaking of 500 games, Glendenning's got 500 with the Red Wings, and Lasheff's got himself 500 now here in Grand Rapids. Pretty special, though, that year. Lash, pretty tough to top that. Of course, 4 years later, pretty impressive, too, winning another championship. But that team was just, man, the leadership, and we're looking at all of it right here with Evans and Hogan and Page and, you know, Granner. I mean, gosh, it'd be pretty tough to top the leadership that team had.
Yeah, I think it was something that kind of grew from the start of the season. Like the guy said, we didn't really know what kind of team we were going to have from the start. But, you know, it kind of, after a rough start, we kind of gelled together as a team, and it was great to have everybody kind of come together and you know, like you said, the leadership group we had kind of brought us through the rough start we had, and we were able to get on a roll there. Hey, Gus.
What's up, Lash?
As we were just talking about before he came on, the Nyquist guy was an overrated player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Hi, Gus.
What's up, guys? How do I can I somehow see everyone, or just the guy talking?
You definitely, I sure hope you can see someone other than my ugly mug.
Yeah, that's the only one I have to see. That's why I want to change it, Bob.
I don't blame you. I can put a mask on.
Kidding. I'll figure it out here.
Well, thanks for jumping in. We're just talking about leadership of the 2012-13 season and team, and obviously great to have you jumping in here as well. And we'll get to some pretty special times related to Gus Nyquist here shortly. But, you know, I want to ask all of you guys, just anybody jump in here. Just, you know, you always ask a team, what was the turning point of the season? What was a moment where you felt like, you know what, this team, after you got through all the change and the new coach, new captains, et cetera, a lot of new players on a team that hadn't made the playoffs in its previous 3 years. At what point was it, you know, the slow start, but then winning 8 in a row? Was it the brawl in Rockford? Granted, we'll talk a little bit about that. Did that bring the team together? What was it that, you know, you guys thought was a stage of the year where this team's got what it takes to win a title?
Hey, I think that definitely when you say that, Kaiser, there's two things that pop up for me. It's definitely that brawl for sure. Watching Bubba chase that little puke around the ice, and that guy
And the Zamboni entrance.
screaming for Mama on the ice. I've never seen. I was right there saying stop, and Bubba just giving him what he deserved 100%. There was that, and I think another thing was our rookie party, and I don't know how that song came to be a thing for us, singing that song.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Go ahead and sing it, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not trying to think.
Use that piano behind you.
Yeah.
Use the piano.
Yeah, jump on the piano, Evie.
That's for sure, boys.
That's for sure.
Should have a hammer back there hanging on the wall, a couple of nails. But yeah, for me, for sure, that song and that Ricky party, I don't know, man, because every time something good happened on the bus, we started singing that song, and it was like you could tell there was like, this feels good, this feels right, you know. That's what I felt for those.
That brawl was something. Speaking of the bus, I don't know if you guys remember getting on the bus and Mrazek sitting like third row in with two black eyes, just with grinning ear to ear. I just felt like at that point, it just seemed like it really brought you guys close together in a weird sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrazek, when he came out of the bus, like we traveled all the way back from Rockford, and we came out of the bus, we saw him just with two raccoon eyes. He was banged up, but that was something. Man. Jeez.
Luke, anything for you stand up early on in that or during the course of the year where you felt like, gosh, this is it, man. My first year pro, I might just win a championship in my hometown.
I mean, I wasn't there obviously through the struggles at the beginning, but I just felt like as we moved along, we just continued to gel more and more. And I remember Hoagie and Pacer and Evie and Grant are just talking about like how hard it is. Don't take this for granted, enjoy every minute of it, but it's hard to get here. And I think we just embraced that and enjoyed every minute of it. And, you can talk about the brawl in Rockford. I thought that was, but I think there's just something special about, the bus trips, the long trips, spending time together. It was just a great group of guys that, I thought, got along for the most part. And I don't know, it was just a very special group.
Yeah, I think about the times when we went down to Austin too. What are those things called where the guys on the pedal bike and I think we lost Grant for a bit.
The rickshaw.
Yeah, the rickshaw where, all the team got split up, but then the next thing you know, we come to an intersection and there's, 3/4 of the team all riding in rickshaws that time on the road, obviously, and, just making everybody inclusive, like you guys, like Nesty mentioned, he played one game, but, you've been around the group and you start to feel a part of it no matter what your, time is on the ice. And, I think all these guys carried it on. You talk about leadership and you see Glenn Denning and Lashoff now in leadership roles. And you're like, holy cow, I'm old for one, but, it's pretty cool that, to take away from that one season. And, the championship was great, but it was all those little stories that you gather throughout the time there. It was pretty sweet.
Landon Ferraro joining us from, where are you?
I'm in Vancouver. What's up, guys?
Do you have a personal?
They do have connection.
Do you have a personal medical bed in your house?
just moving right now. I had to get a whole new place, so I had room.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice to hop on. I don't even see your face, Bubba, until I get chirped. Love it.
This is 2 years of the real life going on right now.
Oh,
Billings looks like he's sitting on a roof there. Where are you at?
Oh,
Bill.
I'm in Germany, just on a patio here. Well, our back patio, not a bar patio, but no, just enjoying the time, waiting for the season to start. But it's we're delayed here for a little while, so that's all.
Lando, what's your status?
Hanging
How's
out
your
in
health?
Vancouver. Health. I mean, I only had to play like 50 games last year. I feel great. Sitting around forever. So, no, just kind of waiting. Same thing. Billy's already over there, but just kind of waiting to see what happens and hanging out here, skating, helping with the junior prep team, and kind of doing that. Just filling my day.
So we were just talking about great moments, which there are a lot of them in that season, regular season, obviously playoffs. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but just to get a sense from the guys, what were the turning points? What was a stage of the year in which you felt like, yeah, this team is legit. This team's he's got a great chance to win the whole thing.
Oh, I don't know. I think the biggest turning was probably just in training camp. It was completely different, and Hoag's addressing us as a captain when half of us hadn't even met him yet, but just seeing I remember him giving his first talk and be like, I haven't even met all you guys. You don't know who I am, but I'm gonna be your captain. No, but just seeing how quick the group got together, it was a ton of fun. And then through the year, didn't matter how many guys were going up or down, everyone was kind of contributing. And then once we got the reinforcements in the playoffs, it was kind of unfair at that point. Oh, geez, Nessie, I didn't even see you down there. What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Seeing some of these faces, I haven't seen yours in a while. What's up?
Do you guys keep in touch? I mean, many of you guys still connected in some way, shape, or form?
Me and Lando were kind of connected this year. Playing the same
train
line.
Seatmate.
Yeah, we're back. Train seatmate. And
Yeah, we saw each other last year at Luke's wedding in Grand Rapids. A bunch of us actually.
Yeah.
Who else is getting married, Lash?
Lash got married last summer.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the invite, bud.
We did a small one. Actually, the place we got married at burned to the ground this week because it was in California.
Oh,
Don't read into it.
Well, hey, let's jump ahead. Let's talk playoffs, you guys. Regular season aside is pretty good. Team finally got into the playoffs after missing 3 years in a row, so pretty special for the guys that have been on the team. Frankie Perry, hopefully we'll get a chance to hear from him. I remember Perry literally in tears after a couple of games when we qualified for the playoffs, and then after winning, I think, the first round, and how much it meant to him. So obviously it meant a lot to all of us here in Grand Rapids. First round, Houston, Hoagie's old stomping grounds. That was a tough series, man. They were all tough. I mean, gosh, we played, 24 of a possible 26 games before finally winning the thing.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to jump in there with Houston. I think you hadn't been in the playoffs for a while. I think we got down early, and you look out the hotel room, and you got Tats, Yurko, they're all sitting at the pool, a bunch of our guys. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. We're checked out a little bit there. But, I think, for the run, our chemistry was so good that, we wanted to keep hanging out with guys. If you're going to hang out at the pool, come to play. And I think we kind of had a little get together there about, let's put on our game faces here, and we managed to battle back in that Houston series. And, one thing, last night I'm thinking, geez, I don't know if I remember and can recollect all these details. So kind of looking forward, made sure you're always a stats guy and all that details. Just kind of, when you think of Houston, I don't know, the feel initially was how far it was going to go, but it was, certainly, we got everybody on board pretty quick there.
Callie.
What's up, guys?
Caveman.
Up before up before the crack of noon.
Barely.
You look, buddy.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass trying to get in this thing. My email wasn't working. So the phone Randy all day.
How are you?
Doing all right. How are you guys?
Good.
Good, bud.
We're trying to remember what happened in the playoffs.
I think I'm trying to remember what happened last night.
Hey, Granter, if the 1 o'clock whistle goes and you need to get back to work, just let us know. Just bail
No,
on.
I save all my smoke breaks and I just jam it all together.
Well, you talk about the playoffs. I mean, I wish Mrazek was able to join us here, but he certainly had a bit of a hand in this thing coming together. Didn't he? Had a couple back-to-back shutouts. I think 7-0 over Houston, and then I think the next round Toronto. Obviously, goaltending is pretty dang important, huh?
Yeah, I think that's obviously the difference. Winning, losing the first round and winning the whole thing. I was really impressed. He was pretty composed with if he let up a bad goal or maybe he got like a loss, but he was just kind of like a stone cold face, and he was rock solid, and we definitely. We wouldn't be all getting here together without the performance he had.
He had that charisma.
He did.
Cocky as could be too, huh?
Yeah, there's as many as times I wanted to rip off his skull and practices. He was definitely outstanding, and we owe him definitely beer, but a lot of really good performances from players, and he was definitely on top of the list of that.
I think we stepped past Houston and Toronto. That Oak City series was as good as it gets. I still look back and I think the winner of that series wins the Calder Cup, whether it was us or Oak City. I'm sure you guys agree, but that series had a whole lot to it. The thing I remember most is being down 2-1 in Oak City, the tornado delays the start of Game 4 to the next day, and by then the Red Wings get KO'd. and Joachim Anderson and Gus Nyquist come walk into the room that morning before Game 4, and you just felt like, all right, here we go, boys. Not that I think any of you guys doubted you're going to win it, but when Nyquist and Anderson showed up before Game 4 in Oak City, it just felt like, okay, this is here we go.
And DK that just joined too was a big part.
That's when I knew
What's happening, guys? How are you?
Yeah, buddy.
Happy to be here.
Hi, Danny.
How you doing?
We'll get to the Syracuse series when you showed up here in a minute.
Sounds good.
Special moment, and we're talking to Nyquist here. Just Gus obviously disappointed the Wings got knocked out by Chicago, but it was certainly our gain getting you and Anderson back down. And you guys wasted no time. In fact, I think you scored on a power play like just a couple minutes into that Game 4, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, that was tough. We had a good series there against Chicago in the second round. So, but got talking to Kenny right after me and Andy. So excited to go down and finish off with the Grand Rapids, where we spent most of the season, anyways. So that felt like that was more of our team. I remember the flight down. That was that tornado. Is the worst flight. Meaning we were literally holding hands for 2 hours. The plane was going everywhere. I've never seen. I mean, he was. I was scared, but Andy had to change pants after that one. Come down, and then like you said, I think the game got postponed to the next night, right? If I don't misremember,
Yeah.
But. No, just great to come in and join the team. And like you said, we were down 2-1 at that point, and then coming in and just feeling like they had a really good thing going, and it was awesome to.
Yeah, that's Tornado Alley
be a part
there.
of that finish.
Yeah, that Tornado
that was
Alley.
crazy.
Granted, you know all about that. I mean, gosh, that tornado too. Remember, half you guys were dressed down in the basement, down in the parking garage below the arena, getting ready for Game 4, which was supposed to have been on, I think, a Friday night, and that tornado came bearing down on Oak City. It was a scary time, but it was unique though. You guys are down in that parking garage. Fans are down there playing with a soccer ball, and kind of weird, but certainly memories.
Still one of my favorite pictures. I got one at Evie underneath in his undergear with talking to a pretty good sized guy in overalls, like just a fan, because we're all down in the same area. He's just hanging out. Guys are playing sewer ball. There's sewer pipes just pumping water down.
Well, that series turned out to be that was it, man. That Oak City team was really good, but goes the whole way, 7 games, and then of course on to the Calder Cup Finals against Syracuse, a team that the year before I don't think they lost a game on their way to that was the year they won 24 in a row or whatever it was, and had a bunch of guys coming back. Were you guys in any way, and I'm guessing the answer is a flat out no, but was there any concern at all going? I mean, you were so sky high confident. Was there any nervousness about playing that Syracuse team, knowing their history? Plus, they were rolling along in the Eastern Conference playoffs before they met you in the Calder Cup Finals.
I know the older guys had no fear because we got that sleeper bus, and we just sat there and we watched for 10 hours on the way. Everybody was jacked up. Evie and Granner had me so pumped. I felt like I was Arnold Schwarzenegger by the time I got to that Syracuse series. That's the stuff I remember. That was so much fun.
I was just getting warmed up, man, at that time.
That's right. Thank God they flew us down for that Game 6. Couldn't have done that. That's right. Yeah.
Well, then Danny DeKeyser comes along, and that was a tough situation because you got a guy, Brett Skinner, who had been such a big part of the team. Somebody had to sit, and he was that guy. And Skinner was supposed to join us. I'm still hoping he jumps in here, but man, talk about a great team guy to make way for Danny DeKeyser, who obviously was a big part of this team and helping us hoist that cup.
Yeah, that was fun. Going into the finals there, playing in that final series, it was, obviously I hadn't been around the team like the whole year, so I kind of, at first I felt a little bit weird, just in the sense that you're right, somebody had to sit out if I were to play, and I guess sometimes that's how it goes. It's kind of shitty in some sense, but it was a lot of fun. And playing in that, I remember that Syracuse series. I'd broken my thumb like a month ago, so I hadn't played much. And my first few shifts in the league, I was like, holy shit, I was getting run left and right and buried a few times right off the the first period there, but kind of settled down and got to play in. And our skilled guys were our best players. They came to play and scored big goals when we needed them.
Yeah, welcome to the
but the biggest plug of them all scored the winners. So
we're getting to that.
You said the skill guys.
Well, let's jump to that, Evie. Didn't have a single goal the whole season. It's a pretty good time to score. I think it was your second one, right? But it turns out game winner in the championship game.
Yeah, well, that one is pretty big, but I mean, let's not forget Game 7. I got one too against Stoke City.
Yeah.
You had a few shootout goals too, no?
Yeah, I was 2 for 4.
Not that you remember.
2 for 4, but
that'll get you a five. That'll get you a $5 million contract now, going for 2 for 4.
Yeah, seriously, $5 million. Yeah, that was crazy. That I don't know. I always had kind of weird luck like that. Like, get off of this. 1 year in Peoria, I didn't score a goal all year. And then I had a hat trick. And that was only 3 goals I scored all year. Got a hat trick. Like, that makes as much sense as me scoring the winner. But yeah, it's something that I got a sweet picture of me and about to hug Billy there after I scored. That every time, it's one of those things with this team that you look at it and it kind of gives you a good memory. It gives you goosebumps to see the picture, and I'm sure everyone's kind of got something that they see and it gives them a really good feeling. But there's lots of them from this team for sure.
How disappointing was it to not get it done here? I mean, you guys get out a 3-0 lead in that series. You seem like you got this thing put away. Tickets on the streets here in Grand Rapids are going for $300 for fans to see a first ever championship in Grand Rapids, and games 4 and 5 slip by. Got to go to Syracuse to win it, which you got it done. That's awesome. But man, it had to be disappointing not to win it in this building, huh?
I think about that. Family flew in, and there's certainly a lot of hype, and we hadn't been in the playoffs for so long, and you could see the energy and the support that we gained for getting people back and supporting the Griffins. But I think it turned out the way it was supposed to turn out. We weren't supposed to win at home that year. That came down the line. And I think a lot of guys did their part and initially, and then winning at home down the road. That's the way it was supposed to happen then. But you think about that flight. Gus mentioned the flight getting flown out there, and then the way we win with Evie with that shot and the goalie saying anybody but him. I can't believe it. That was it was disappointing. We couldn't do it at home, but that flight back, obviously that's something, with getting guys together like that. I don't know how it went when you guys won at home, but I'm sure everybody was just, surrounded by friends, family, and, went their own directions. And, I think everybody, big or small role felt a part of that plane ride home. And, it was pretty cool and fitting for, that season.
Patriot, what was better, winning it in Syracuse or winning it at home?
I think they're both just incredibly unique. So I was fortunate to be able to part of me and Mitch and Lash were part of both of them. It's like Hoagie said, it was a more personal type thing where we were just together. It was just the team, the staff, and we got to be together and celebrate it. And that night was even quiet. And then obviously it was the time around at all the fans and everybody on the ice, and that got a little chaotic in the dressing room. So that was amazing too. So to be able to experience both, they both have very special meanings, and I wouldn't do it any other way. That's for sure.
Lash, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, just having the guys like Hoagie said around, the immediate guys like that, grinded, whether they played a ton or played a little bit, having everybody together right when it happened in Syracuse, and then kind of, being able to take the plane ride home. I think that's something that everyone's going to remember forever. And, at home is obviously a little bit more chaotic, but awesome in its own way too. But I think just being able to have that experience of having the guys all together for, an extended period of time where it's just us and kind of enjoying it was something that I think is unique, and it was awesome.
Callie?
My favorite story from memory from the first time we won it was Granner yelling at the stewardess and we packed the Calder Cup on the runway as we were taking it.
Stop the plane.
Yeah, they weren't happy about that one. Winning it the first time, I mean, it was special. We had a different group of guys, right? It was just a closer-knit team. Sucks we didn't win at home, but I was happy to win it with these guys. I wouldn't ask it any other way.
Professor Nestor Schill?
I mean, like I said, I've been mostly watching these guys play the whole playoffs. But I felt like what was really cool about that team was that all of us that didn't play, there was pretty much no one that was bitter, like everyone, even though we were in the stands, we were really cheering these guys on, and we're really happy for them because there was no way we could have even thought that we should have been in the lineup. We had so many great guys that went on and had, have great careers still. So I think that was very special, and I think we had more energy, to get the party going a little bit on the plane. I remember stealing the camera from the crew and walking around and doing the interviews with Tats and stuff like that. So it was even for me that didn't play much, it was still an incredible experience, and still kind of gets me going till this day because I want to win one that I feel a bigger part of it. So it was amazing, really.
Chad Billings, you were just up the road at Ferris before you came here. Kind of that pipeline now, Ferris State Bulldogs that are playing some pro hockey. You're pretty special for you, obviously, just down the road to win a title here, huh?
Yeah, it was obviously a very special year to be so close to home. My parents, I think, missed maybe one or two home games, so just the whole year it was special, and I feel like I was pretty naive. It was my rookie year, and all these great leaders are telling us that throughout the year that these chances don't come by too often to embrace it, and I kind of just brushed it off, and I didn't really think much of it. But now I don't know how many years, 7 years later, I'm glad we took advantage of it because that's the first championship when I was a pro, obviously, and I'm still searching for another one. So I think the biggest thing about the whole year was just like everyone has said, the tight-knit group of guys. I thought it was it just made it really fun to come to the rink, and never got too high, never got too low because and that's thanks to the coaching staff as well.
Flash, in all the decades we've been together here in Grand Rapids, I don't think I've ever asked you this. I'll throw it out to you and Pacher and Callie. Which team wins in a best-of-7 series, 2013 versus the 2017 Griffins?
Well, mine in 2013, and I wasn't 17. But those are completely different teams. We're a little older in 17, and in 13, you look at our skilled guys. They were young guys, us and young first-line Tats. We haven't mentioned Jan Mersock, how he was huge in that Calder Cup run for us. The so-called third line of Glennie, Hoagie, and Nurse. I mean, that line really made a difference just because they dominate other teams' third lines. And so we were really deep that year. And then 17, we were a little older. We were a little more heavier, maybe, and we had a good power play. So very, very, very different style teams. I have both great teams, just great group of players and individuals, and two great coaches too. You got to remember, we had Blash and then we had Ellie in those two runs. You got amazing coaching, different style, but I think the teams kind of emulated the style of coaching a little, and look at how successful both those guys are, and that's why that Oak City series went to 7 games. Had, in my opinion, two of the best head-to-head, two great hockey clubs, and right down to the wire.
Yeah, two great coaches, Nelly against Blash. I mean, Luke and Danny, you guys, Jeff Blashill, getting a chance to play for him, and obviously now many years later, still playing for him. He really was a big reason why this team went on and won the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I wasn't there with any coaches before him, but I thought he kept us up. When things didn't go our way in the playoffs, and kept us focused. And I thought, like Pacer said, our play kind of reflected his style of coaching, and it proved to be successful in the playoffs.
Danny, Jeff Blashley, obviously been on the hot seat, which I think any coach in the position he's been in the last few years is going to be. But, I know just personally, I feel like he's unfairly criticized. I just think the guy's a brilliant coach. He's won everywhere he's been. Maybe just a matter of time before he accomplishes great things in Detroit too, or in the NHL somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think anybody who's played for Blash, really respects him and likes playing for him. Seems like a lot of the guys on this call definitely do for sure. But yeah, it's tough when you come into a position like he did here in Detroit, where you're losing a couple of your all-star players in Pav and Z, who've been MVP players for 10, 12, 15 years, whatever they have been. So he kind of turned over a new group here, and I think he'll do a good job. It just sometimes it takes a little bit of time to transition.
How about the environment playing at Van Andel and then Syracuse is a much smaller building, but man, I'll tell you, the fans in both cities about as good as it gets, huh?
Yeah, they were great. It was Pacer mentioned that bus ride, out to Syracuse. I was on that big sleeper bus. It was fun, and then that barn there in Syracuse, it was rocking for those games, and it was loud there, and I remember they came out really hard. Like I said, they came out hard, and were had a lot of big hits right off the face off there in the first period, and it was a fun building to play in. And then going back to Grand Rapids, obviously Van Andel's seems like to me one of the better places to play in the AHL. So it was a fun series.
Lou, you spent some time here in Grand Rapids. That year had to be awfully special for you. I mean, of course, it is for anybody, but especially guys that played a decent number of years here in GR to win a title.
For me, yeah, for sure. Like Nesty was saying, we didn't play in the final, but it was just that year. It was the group of guys was just unreal. I don't even remember. It was just we were playing. We stepped on the ice. We were jumping in the dressing room, just waiting, and then we came on the ice party with the guys. It was more kind of doing it with everyone kind of thing, and just happy to be in that moment. And yeah, we saved the energy for the party on the plane.
Yeah, that plane ride I think was 1 hour and 33 minutes. I thought I heard, and it seemed like 3 minutes.
Oh yeah, we were singing the whole time. I remember Frankie's not showing up, but he was singing that song like crazy. Those hosts, they must have been so tired of us and just begged to go home and please just land right already. But so much fun with everyone. It was unreal. The whole season was like this too. So.
Landon Ferraro.
Yeah, we can't forget the classic Call of Duty games as well.
Oh yeah, with the draft in the dressing room and everything. That was insane. Everyone was playing pretty much, eh? Jeez. We're doing draft in the dressing room, and yeah, that was something.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to sing that song. Granner, lead
You know
the way.
who's going to be doing that?
How's it go again, Evie?
And
oh, it just stopped.
It really doesn't want him to sing.
I thought he was the best.
immediately heard Granner start singing. Oh, no, we got to cut this off.
Where's Frankie? Frankie didn't. I remember that story though. I remember. No, I recall that because no, I think we're heading to the restaurant from. I remember I just kind of stick my fat head out of the window and I saw a girl and that just kind of popped into my head and it was crazy on how contagious it came and just it was just pretty remarkable that it kind of just stuck and we're singing it at the end of the year and hosting the cup. So it was just kind of another example of how special the group it was and I'm still living here, so I'm still thinking it's 2013 in Grand Rapids, but very and Bob, you're in my seat, by the way.
Yeah, Mount.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you guys don't know. Granner's been doing some radio with me this past year. Becoming a media darling here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me know. I look forward to doing it again. I got to run. My smoke break is up, so it's extremely nice to see you all again.
Granner, thanks for doing this, buddy.
Yeah, stay safe, everyone.
Later.
See you, Bubba.
See you, buddy.
One of the greatest pictures of that entire postseason, I think, was him sitting on that bench outside. What's that? What's on the corner there of Ionia and in the baking sun? You could tell he was probably about as hungover as you get. That's picture with him in the Calder Cup. Oh my gosh, classic. So let's see how many guys we got still playing the game here in this in these squares. So Glendenning, Evie, you're done. You still play? You playing any men's league?
I played senior for a couple years. My last year, captain national title team. Then we kind of nowhere to go from there. Allen Cup champs. They said, you know what, enough's enough. We'll just go to beer league.
Well, Gus Nyquist trying to get himself a Stanley Cup here. Columbus is moving along pretty good. Someday.
Yeah, we got a good group here. We got a young team, but still very good. They're only going to get better. So it's an exciting group to be part of. It's too bad we lost. I thought we gave Tampa a pretty good run for the money, even though it was 4 running games, but felt like we were closer than what the outcome turned out to be. But I haven't really watched any of the playoffs, to be honest with you. I get a little bit rattled every time I see it, but it is what it is.
Well, we got a leg up on Tampa/Syracuse. Tampa's got a leg up on Detroit, though. That title, and a few of those guys, you guys are sure you've watched some of the games, right? There's some guys you played against in that. We're on that 13 Syracuse team that are now with the Lightning. That's what it's all about, right? Developing and moving guys up.
Yeah, no, they've quite a few guys still there. I'm trying to remember. I know Johnson and Palat. It was Kucherov was on the 13 team too, I think.
Just for a brief time, he was on the 12 team that. Or in Norfolk, I think they lost to Norfolk. I can't recall now, but
I can't remember.
Yeah, he was a more prominent guy the year before.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah. So they still got a few guys, obviously, there in that organization, just like Detroit, right? Gray, DK. Who else? Anyone else? No.
Yeah, I think that might be it. That might be it. There's a few guys from the 17 team that are on there as well. But hey, like I said, we got Syracuse's number. They don't like us much in Syracuse, New York. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
All right, boys. Well, we were hoping a few other guys are going to be able to jump in, but hey, we got a great group here. This is awesome. Appreciate so much everybody's time, and like Granner said, it's so great to see everybody, and hopefully we can remain connected here, and certainly connected in a great way that we're all you guys are all champions of the second best league in the world. That's an amazing accomplishment, and we here in Grand Rapids thank you guys so much. I think you know that from the bottom of our hearts, man. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks for setting this up, Kays and the Griffins there. life kind of consumes you. I was talking to Blash just a couple of weeks ago, and it was about youth hockey of all things. That's what kind of consumes me now. And, he's just, you talk to the guys much. And I was like, no, but, when we see each other like this or run into somebody, we got to get out to Edmonton to see Riley play. It's, there's immediate pickup where he left off. So appreciate you doing this. Good seeing everybody here. And, we share that forever and, always watching and always rooting for all you guys.
All the best to everybody. You guys stay healthy. You guys still playing in the NHL. Get that Stanley Cup, Luke, Danny. Hopefully it happens for you.
Why don't you go to talk to DeVos or to Van Andel once all this COVID crap clears up? Start handing out a few flights. Get the boys down there.
Well, that's what the hopes are. 25th anniversary. That's coming up if we have a season. So you'll be hearing from us. I guarantee you'll be hearing from us.
Perfect.
Back at the Amway. We'll go back to the
that was fun,
Amway upstairs.
That was fun. Fun times. So good seeing you guys in any setting. This one in particular today. So much appreciate you guys taking the time to do this.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for doing
Thank
this.
you.